Hello there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you. It is October 29th, and that is, yes, just one full day away from Halloween, which is on Thursday. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you here with me on Inspirations for Your Life. It's that time for you to go get that delicious, refreshing beverage or that hot beverage, whatever you prefer, or maybe a tasty, healthy snack like apples or fruit, or perhaps something not so healthy like something sweet, chocolate, right? So go ahead and do that and rush on back to me. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into transformative power of inclusivity and support. Our master topic for the week is understanding the power of good deeds. And that's what we are delivering this week. Exactly. So unity in diversity is not just a catchy phrase, even though it sounds really good together, doesn't it? It's a fundamental principle that can reshape our communities and empower individuals. By understanding and implementing strategies that support those in need and create inclusive environments, we can foster a sense of belongingness and acceptance. Join me as I give you some great ways to do this. So, we're going to discover the incredible strength that comes from embracing diversity and uplifting one another. Hurry on back from the fridge there. Let's get started. All right. We need to get this show on the road. All right. So, first part is I kind of broke this down into two parts, which is supporting those in need and then creating inclusive environments. So, for supporting those in need, we're building stronger communities by coming together to support those who are struggling. We strengthen the fabric of our communities. When we lend a helping hand, we create a network of support that benefits everyone. All right. Empathy and connection. Empathy allows us to connect with others on a deeper level and understand the challenges faced by those in need. And this helps us respond compassionately and fosters stronger relationships. Positive change through action is very important. So, taking action, no matter how small, can create a ripple effect. We talked about ripple the other day, right? A couple days ago, and we talked about skipping rocks, right? Every act of kindness contributes to a larger movement of support and goodwill. We're all talking about good deeds this week, right? And boosting personal growth supports others not only in helping them, but also enhances their own personal growth. It gives us all a sense of purpose and fulfillment, and it enriches our lives in ways we might have not even dreamt were possible or even expect to. Now that we understand a little bit about supporting those in need, that's one part. The second part is creating inclusive environments. So diversity as a strength embraces diversity really means to recognize the unique strengths that each individual brings to the table. When we celebrate our differences, we create richer and more innovative environments. Diversity is becoming more popular when we talk about certain groups, including colleges and schools. But what does it really mean? So diversity means that no one person is exactly the same. That means that there's no discrimination for race, religion, sexual orientation, creed, political party, or any other thing that somebody might have or not have. So the whole idea of acceptance, the whole idea of being diverse, and the whole idea of being able to just be proud of who you are and that everyone accepts you for who you are. Now, unfortunately, in our world, some people may not accept you for who you are, but that's not your problem. That's their problem. Okay? Diversity is powerful. Belonging and acceptance is the key. Fostering a sense of belongingness ensures that everyone feels valued and accepted. So this creates a culture where individuals can thrive and contribute their best selves. When we think about inclusivity, when we talk about, what is college in inclusivity, now about? Well, I think the biggest thing that happens with an inclusive um, campus is that students perform better academically because they're accepted. Students are less biased. They have more satisfied faculty, more engaging curriculum and classrooms, and students are more prepared to be local leaders. Um, no longer does it matter, like I said, what you like, what you don't like, what the color of your skin is. That doesn't matter what race you're from, ethnicity, background. Everyone is all in this big melting pot together. And so what's nice about it is that we can learn from different cultures. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was a commercial, it was on several years ago, and it was this grandfather that was in I believe it was a canoe, and he had his grandson with him. And they were talking about this boy that was in his grandson's class. And he goes, I really like this guy. And he says, well, what does he look like? Well, he's tall. He's a little bigger than me. We're great friends. And you should meet him sometime. He goes, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And he says to his grandfather, he says, you're not going to be rude to him, are you? He goes, no, why would I be rude to him? Well, I know how you are with certain people. Well, what kind of people? Well, he doesn't have the same color skin as we do. And then the grandfather just kind of paused by and goes, oh, so you're hanging out with someone with a different colored skin. And so his grandson says, yes, but I never really even noticed it other than, at first, it just doesn't seem to matter to me. And his grandfather's like, oh, okay. And then his grandson said to him, Grandpa, can I ask you a question? He says, sure, grandson, anything you want. Are you prejudiced? Prejudice? Yeah, prejudice. What do you mean? Well, do you have like and this is according to Merriam-Webster, an irrational attitude of hostility directed towards certain individuals based on their race, religion, sexual orientation, creed, color, or political party? I don't think I'm prejudiced. Well, then if you're not prejudiced, Grandpa, why do you always make slurs about people that are not the same color as we are? And the grandfather just sort of went back in his stance there in the boat. And the grandson really taught him something, that he really was prejudiced. Now, he didn't say this right to him. And so he said to his grandson, I've had a hard life growing up in the Depression, sometimes not being able to eat and waiting on bread lines. And there are many times that those people were there before me. What people, Grandpa? The people that have different color on their skin. Where before who? Where were they before you? In the bread lines. Did they push you down or something like that? Or say anything bad to you? No, they were just there earlier than we were. Well, that's not their fault. I mean, that's your fault for not being there early, I suppose. Grandpa, I don't want to say this to you, but I think you are prejudiced. And he comes back and he says, grandson, I think you're right. I think I am prejudiced. And you know something, grandson? I don't want to be prejudiced anymore. It's just something that has been automatic to me. I'd like to meet your young fellow friend sometime. Are you going to be nasty to him or treat him differently? No, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, but I'm willing to change my ways. I just might need some help. And the commercial ends, but this commercial was very quick. I kind of dragged it out, but they did this really quick. And so a lot of times the older people are prejudiced. That could be generations before you. And it's like you pick up your behavior based on younger or older generations, oftentimes because you believe they're a good example. But many people that are older are prejudiced. And so the question you might be asking today is, how do you stop being prejudiced? And that's not an easy answer, but I have a few tips I hope that will maybe help you to consider it. Of course, you can take courses on it. Um, you can maybe read about the culture. You can be inquisitive, but it's important not to be negative or nasty. And so the grandson said to his grandfather, grandfather, I know you've been prejudiced all these years. I never said anything. You and dad, that is. And I don't expect you to become unprejudiced overnight. All I'm asking you to do is to just work at it to be a little less prejudiced than you currently are. And with that, the grandson hugged him and the commercial ended. But they did this really quickly. So I hope that when you're in an environment and you feel like acting with prejudice, that you change that instinct that you want to act like. You want to be prejudiced because you think it's the cool thing, because you think that's the way you have to be. You think that's what your father or what your family would want you to be. So inclusivity is very, very important. And so with understanding prejudice and now also understanding the fact that you can break down barriers, it's essential to identify and dismantle barriers that prevent inclusivity, whether that can be social, cultural, systematic, um, even stigmas about people that maybe like to date the same gender. And address these barriers openly. And these doors will allow you to get more opportunities to learn from others and to learn from yourselves. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be an easy thing because it's not. But as long as you do it with the intention that you want to end prejudice, it will work for you. Empower all voices. Inclusivity involves amplifying voices that are often unheard, that are stomped on because maybe they're the little guy. By creating spaces where everyone can share their thoughts and experiences We cultivate more equitable communities. We talked about this in terms of the company many times before, where we don't just want to have a top-down approach for um, feedback. We want to have a bottom-up as well as a top-down, so that the ideas can come from anyone, regardless of their race, religion, color, sexual orientation, creed, or even their position or economic status or financial status. That's hard for a lot of people to swallow. But I think if you're going back to school or you're, let's say, in a group, you're going to hit this because more and more places are starting to recognize that we have to be more inclusive. I mean, after all, you're living the life you want. Shouldn't other people be given that same right? And you might be saying to me, John, yeah, but my way's right. Who says your way's right? Your way might be right to you, but it may not be right to someone. And I always said, as long as you never hurt or harm another person physically, mentally, or spiritually, you can do whatever you want to do. But when you crush someone because of who they are, it leaves a very bad taste in your mouth. And it also makes the other person feel like they're worthless. And everyone in this world, ladies and gentlemen, is worthy. No one has the right to put someone else down. Even if you're smarter than the other person, that doesn't mean that you should come down and treat them like you're a bully, like they're scum, like they're beneath you. You have no right to do that. So I hope this week of understanding good deeds will empower you to choose those good deeds over the bad ones. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege and pleasure to be with you on these amazing days and evenings. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, which is October 30th, 2024, which will be Wednesday. And that'll just be one day before Halloween. Are you going out for Halloween? Or are you helping somebody maybe get ready for Halloween? Did you go to a trunk or treat? Or are you going to go to a party with some friends and do some Halloween activities like, bob for apples and things like that? I think when we can sit back and we can look at how other people are treating someone, not to chastise them, but then to go into ourselves and say, wait a minute, I can't cast a stone. I'm no better. I treat people the same way. Maybe I don't discriminate someone because of their skin color. Maybe I discriminate them because of the fact that they might be someone who wants to date of the same gender. Does that make me a better person? Does that make them a better or worse person? And the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, is no. Allowing people to be who they want to be and ending prejudice is not something that's going to happen overnight. But if we start and chip at it a little bit each day, pretty soon, there'll be no more prejudice and we'll have a world of unity. Won't that be something when that happens? I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be well, everyone.